Greetings to everyone out there in the No DQ galaxy. Welcome to the No DQ live recap of WWE Money in the Bank 2019. And I'm not sure what the hell I just watched. That show hurt my brain in more ways than one. That was something else. I'm at a loss for words with Money in the Bank. It's like, how can one show with a lot of quality wrestling be such a mixed bag? I'm looking at the responses from people. We have people that are just losing their minds in the chat room, on Twitter, on Facebook. How about that Game of Thrones finale? I have no idea what happened, nor do I really care about Game of Thrones, although maybe I would have been more entertained by that than this. I have no idea. Probably not. But anyways, let's go ahead and break down this Money in the Bank card, which was actually not as long as a usual WWE pay-per-view. I mean, I think it clocked in at about 3 hours, 35 minutes. It felt like a much longer show, though. I felt like Money in the Bank was a 5-hour show, which isn't necessarily a good thing. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. Thank you to everyone, by the way, for watching live. Thank you to everyone in the chat room for tuning in. Please spread the word. Share this link on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook. Tell a friend. Have them check out this review. We're live, and this is going to be an interesting video, I promise you. Power Packers 90 with a $5 super chat. First one of the night, so special shout out goes to Power Packers. Best part of this show. Makes me appreciate being in Vegas even more next week to see a more elite show. And Tomas says AEW has some easy competition after this show. Well, we'll see. Money in the Bank kicked off with the kickoff, of course. And the kickoff match was Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan, former WWE champion Daniel Bryan, the new Daniel Bryan versus the Usos. And this was a non-title match. So shame on me, shame on Virtue, shame on TGS, shame on Big G. We all thought when we did our predictions that this was a title match. How foolish of us. We were so stupid to think that the titles would be on the line on the kickoff. They were not. And if we had known that, if we had done research like we're supposed to do, because we're the so-called professionals, we would not have picked Bryan and Rowan to win. We all picked Bryan and Rowan to win, and the Usos won. We effed up. And poor Kayfabe Candy Ass. He was the only person, Kayfabe Candy Ass was the only person that picked the Usos to win. But we threw out the match. We pulled a fast one on him. We did a poll in the No DQ chat. Should the kickoff match be scrapped? Because we all thought the titles were going to be on the line. And we all voted to scrap it. So Kayfabe Candy Ass did not get a point for that match. I feel so bad for the guy. I didn't even vote, but everyone else voted. So sorry, Kayfabe. We all turned heel on you. My deepest apologies to Mr. Ass. Mr. Kayfabe Candy Ass. All right, so talking about the match real quick. Actually, I should talk about what happened before the match. Let's rewind a little bit. We had Sonya Deville and Zelina Vega arguing at the kickoff panel desk. They were arguing back and forth. That was probably the most interesting thing to happen on the kickoff, other than the kickoff match itself. So the Usos came out, did a promo, which was pretty similar to what they did last week. They called Bryan and Rowan SpongeBob and Patrick. So there you go. Not sure what's going on with the Usos doing the cheesy comedy all of a sudden. It's like they're going to become Roman Reigns, the tag team version. I did like the double suplex or the superplex that Rowan did to both of the Usos. That was pretty cool. For some reason, WWE's protecting Rowan. Why? I have no idea. Former WWE champion, you think you would protect that guy, keep him strong? Nope. Daniel Bryan gets beat by the Usos. Usos do the double splash. Former WWE champion at last month's WrestleMania gets pinned on the kickoff. Wow. Wowie yowie indeed. Poor Daniel Bryan. Sucks to be Daniel Bryan right now. I'm not sure if WWE's just getting cold feet with using him now in a significant role because he got hurt at WrestleMania, but really, he's the former WWE champion. Are you going to turn him into Jinder Mahal? What are you doing here, WWE? For crying out loud. Man. All right, so we kick off the pay-per-view, Money in the Bank, with the Money in the Bank women's ladder match. Natalya versus Dana Brooke versus Naomi versus Alexa Bliss, who was actually not in the match because she got scratched, so I forgot to update that, versus Bayley versus Mandy Rose versus Ember Moon versus Carmella versus a partridge in a pear tree. Actually, we had Nikki Cross replace Alexa Bliss in the match, of course, which was literally announced the last minute on social media. That's why I forgot about it, because it was just something WWE threw out there on Friday. Oh, by the way, Nikki Cross is filling in for Alexa Bliss. I did like the fact that WWE showed a graphic in memory of Ashley Massaro. That was nice. That was cool. Nikki had a couple of standout moments in the match. She took out like 4 people with a ladder, and then she did the old Terry Funk routine where she would put the ladder around her neck and swing it around like a tornado. So nice little tribute to the hardcore legend, Terry Funk. Oh, and speaking of that, I'll bring it up right now real quick before we get back to the match. Mick Foley on Raw is going to be introducing a new championship. Why do we need another title? Don't we have enough titles as it is? And you're not even doing a very good job with the titles you already have. I'm going to have a brain aneurysm here. Why? Why do we have another title? Is this a joke? Is this a rib? I'm confused here. Is it going to be the new hardcore title when WWE doesn't do chair shots to the head? I mean, actually, the men's ladder match in particular was pretty damn hardcore, so maybe there's hope if there's a hardcore title, but do we really need another title? And the answer is no. And Ryan's like he wants more, to be honest. Wow. Okay. So Carmella at one point sold an injury. She got carried out, and then she came back later, I guess, to maybe convince people she was going to win the match again. Maybe she was really hurt. I'm not sure what the deal was here. Dana Brooke had a couple of moments in this match too. She was actually hanging on to the briefcase for a little bit. Sonya Deville came out to help Mandy Rose, and at this point I'm like, well, guess this means Mandy's not winning. Sonya actually was climbing the ladder with Mandy on her shoulders. Bayley then ran up to stop them at the last minute, grabbed the briefcase, and yes, Bayley won Money in the Bank. Cool. I was actually hoping this would happen. As I mentioned during the predictions, like I was going with Mandy because I thought, oh, maybe this is going to be Vince's call, but I would prefer Bayley to win because there's the potential for an interesting story with Bayley. You could have her like tease, is she going to do the right thing with the cash in? And then you could eventually turn her heel, having her just take the shortcut to cash in and become a full-fledged heel. You could have spread this out over several months. So I thought, yeah, pretty cool idea. Bayley wins, and then you could slowly start turning her heel and tell a story with her, having a moral confliction about whether she should cash in Money in the Bank or not. Eddie Smith with a $5 super chat says, I think the title will probably have something to do with the Saudi Arabia show, maybe for the Battle Royal. Oh boy, the greatest WWE championship. How about that they can have crowned in Saudi Arabia? How about that? Thank you, Eddie Smith, for the super chat. Tony H with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Tony H. He says, I cannot stay the entire time, so I will say my piece. Women's Money in the Bank used back-to-back Money in the Bank pay-per-views makes it not important, blah storytelling, and Brock wins. Money in the Bank by doing nothing. New talents equals anti-Vince logic. Pretty much. You made some great points, Tony H, and thank you very much for that $10 super chat. I really do appreciate it. I will talk more about what happened with Bayley and with the Money in the Bank men's match in just a few minutes. So stay tuned for that. Maybe you can catch it on demand, Tony H. For everybody else, please spread the word. If you're watching this live right now, tell a friend. We have over 400 people watching right now, so thank you to everyone watching. Lars, I'm doing all right, but my brain is hurting. Just a little bit. Just a teeny weeny bit. What's going on here? What happened to my internet connection? On the computer, at least. Don't want to lose you guys in the chat room. That would not be good. After the match, Bayley cut her promo, her victory promo, saying, you know, Bayley's out to prove to everyone that she's gonna succeed on SmackDown. Pretty standard stuff. Next up, we have Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. Offman Rule says to breathe. Shanti. Oh, hell. I just remembered what happened in this match now. So now I'm just losing it again. So we had Sami Zayn backstage with Triple H interrupting him, wanting to speak about Shane McMahon, or Braun Strowman, I should say. Yeah, Sami Zayn wanted to talk to Shane McMahon regarding Braun Strowman. Triple H was pissed off that Sami Zayn was getting in his face and interrupting his all-important phone call. We had backstage Rey Mysterio giving his son Dominic a hug, and then Rey's son was watching the match on a monitor. Basically, this was like reverse of WrestleMania. Maybe it was a little bit longer. Maybe it was 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Wait a minute. Did I just say 3 minutes? Rey Mysterio countered a powerbomb and out of nowhere pinned Samoa Joe to win the United States Championship. Now, here's the kicker. Samoa Joe had his shoulder up. Was it a botch? Did the referee screw up? I don't know what happened here, but this confused everybody. It looked like a botch. Samoa Joe was bleeding from the nose. He got kicked in the nose and may have suffered a broken nose. I mean, probably did. Like, his nose looked gnarly. It was messed up. Hello, Caitlin. Thank you for joining us tonight. Yeah, they showed the replay. The announcers were playing up on it, saying that Joe had his shoulder up. I mean, I don't know what's going on here. The whole thing was really confusing, and people were not sure what to make of it. Rey Mysterio's son came to ringside. They celebrated, and then Joe attacked Mysterio, destroyed him in the ring while Mysterio's son watched. So there you go. I'm at a loss for words here. Like, what is going on to Samoa Joe? I guess he had his shoulder up and he was bleeding and he beat the crap out of Mysterio afterwards. But, like, yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I'm, like, just watching this and I'm having no idea what to make of this. Next up, we had... I need a sip of water for this one. Okay, so steel cage match. The Miz versus Shane McMahon. And backstage, we had Braun Strowman pissed off looking for Sami Zayn. I guess he's still mad about Raw, even though, didn't he chokeslam Sami Zayn at the end of Raw? Okay. Greg Hamilton did the intro. Best in the world, Shane McMahon. And then immediately when the bell rang, Shane tried to escape the cage. Multiple times he tried to get out, to no avail. Crowd loved this match so much, they started chanting CM Punk. That's right, they were chanting for CM Punk, and then they started chanting for AEW. Very brief and not a very loud chant, but you could definitely hear it. AEW chants for this match. How could they chant AEW when the best in the world is in that match? How can they do that? How dare those fans? This guy experience left a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. No need for the hardcore belt. They bled hard way more. Well, there you go. I know we had quite a bit of bleeding on this show for sure. So Shane McMahon attempted a coast to coast, but Miz countered it into a figure four leg lock. Shane was trying to escape the figure four. He grabbed the ropes, but of course, in a cage match, there's no rope break. So the referee did not stop the submission. Shane McMahon had his hands on the ropes. No call to break the hold. Shane tried to escape through the door, but Miz ended up getting him back in the ring. However, when he was doing that, Shane had a steel chair. Shane tried to use the chair to no avail, and then we had Miz repeatedly attack Shane McMahon with the chair multiple times, just beating the holy hell out of Shane McMahon. Miz then hit a skull-crushing finale on the chair. Referee goes for the count. 1, 2, and wait a minute. Shane McMahon gets his foot on the rope, and this time, there's a rope break. The referee stops the count because of the foot on the rope. So the submission's all right. The submission's okay, but not a pinfall. What? I guess Jimmy Corderas, one of the former WWE referees, says that that's actually a rule. I'm glad WWE has made it clear to everybody because nobody knew what to make of this situation. In fact, they all started chanting, "This is bullshit." So the crowd, they're stupid. Jimmy Corderas, let these people know. Let them know that they are wrong to chant, "This is bullshit." Let them know because they don't know. I don't know. We're all confused. We have no idea what's going on here. For crying out loud. The two of them were on top of the cage. They were fighting. It looked like Miz was going to send Shane off, but then Shane was trying to squeeze his way down, try to escape the cage. Miz was pulling at his jersey, and then Shane McMahon slipped out of the jersey, fell to the floor, and won the match. I have to admit, creativity points here. However, Miz already lost at WrestleMania, so it's like, shame me once, or fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Kind of makes Miz look like an idiot, but that's pretty much what WWE has been doing with him the past month. Power Packers 90 with the $2 super chat says, Shane went over in every segment in this feud. Yeah, he's the best in the world. Of course he would go over. He's Shane McMahon. He's a McMahon, damn it. He always goes over. He's the man. He's a McMahon. And that's the way it is. Fool me twice, Shane on me. I like that, Kuma138. That should be Shane's new catchphrase. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, Shane on me. Very nice. So the best in the world is still the best in the world. There you go. Next up, we had the Cruiserweight Championship. Hashtag 205 Live Matters. But Noah, you gotta alert the fans to start caring about this because 205 Live matters, right? Crowd did not care about this. They were as dead as a doornail for this match. Sami Zayn was shown backstage hanging upside down, and Triple H was pissed off, wanting to know what Braun Strowman did to him. Daivari came out with a fancy car, so I guess he's JBL now. I don't know. Wasn't enough to get people to care about him. Tony Nese retained with the running knee. It was a match. Not much to it. Should have been on the kickoff. Sorry, Noah. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Moving on here. I mean, I really have nothing to say about the match. It was just your standard 205 Live match. Hashtag Rift skips 205. Sorry. So next up we had Becky Two Belts defending her championship against Lacey Evans. But before we got to the match, backstage we had Triple H confronting Braun Strowman, saying that Strowman is not going to take Sami Zayn's place in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Strowman denied that he did anything to Sami Zayn, so Triple H is like, I'm going to ask you nicely and professionally, leave the building. And Strowman was like, whatever, man, and took off. Jeremy John with a $5 super chat says, after this pay-per-view, I was doing the Bret Hart spelling AEW in the air. Nice job there, Jeremy. I see what you did there. Little reference to the Montreal Screwjob. All right, where are we now? Oh yeah, Lacey Evans versus Becky Lynch. Becky 2 belts. Lacey Evans had a pretty cool entrance. She came out with the guns. She was shooting out money at everybody. Nice entrance. I like it. I dig it. And she was controlling the match. She had her towel. She was wiping the sweat off of her brow, wiping the sweat from her armpits, and then shoving it in Becky's face. I like it. I like it. But then here's where this match went into parts unknown. Like, what the hell just happened here? Lacey had gone after Becky's knee or leg, whatever, and then rolled up Becky, and the referee did not count. Becky had been rolled up there for about 5 to 6 seconds, and the referee was not counting. The referee was looking at them and then slid over to the other side, and then Becky countered into the disarmor, and Lacey immediately tapped out. Now, I looked back on this clip. Becky's shoulders were down, so the referee should have counted. I think what was supposed to happen here, and I could be wrong on this, but based on what I saw, it looked to me like the referee was supposed to count 2, and then Becky counters into the disarm her. I don't know what happened here. Referee screwed up. The announcers, this is why I think it was a referee screw up, because the announcers were bashing the referee big time. And keep in mind, it's Vince that's feeding the lines to the announcers. So when they're there just blasting the referee, that shows me the referee screwed things up. And Vince was probably blowing a gasket like I am backstage. Yeah, I think the referee was supposed to count. And after 2, Becky counters into disarm her and wins. But for some reason, the referee did not do anything. He literally just stood there and then slid to the other side for like a 5 or 6 count. I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. So immediately after the match, Charlotte comes out. We have Becky versus Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And Charlotte was dominating most of it, but then Becky made her comeback. But then Lacey Evans came back out, hit the woman's right on Becky, and then Becky somehow still managed to get a near fall on Charlotte. Charlotte got up, hit her kick to Becky, and pinned Becky to win the SmackDown Women's Championship for the 9th time. And the announcers were making a big deal. 9-time champion. So there you go. 9-time champion. Getting ever so closer to her dad's record. Then we had Becky attack Lacey after the match. And Charlotte and Becky were going at it. And then Lacey was getting involved. And it was basically 2-on-1. It was Charlotte and Lacey beating down Becky. And then Bayley made the save for Becky Lynch. And then Becky Lynch was taken out of the equation. Charlotte was going to try to take out Bayley, but it backfired. And then Bayley saw an opportunity to cash in Money in the Bank. And that's exactly what he did. Just like last year, Money in the Bank immediately cashed in the same night. Bayley hit the big elbow to Charlotte and pinned Charlotte Flair to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. Walter Cruz with a $15 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Walter. Hey, Aaron, as promised, here's the super chat. Gave the show a C+. Have to drive. Keep up the good work. You can use any video I sent you for the website. Thank you very much, Walter Cruz, for keeping me updated. He was there in attendance for Money in the Bank, and he was giving me updates. I really do appreciate it, Walter. Thank you so much for it. If you guys are enjoying this video right now, please share a link Tell a friend. Spread the word. Let's get as many people watching this as possible, because if you think I'm going crazy now, you haven't seen anything yet. I'm like I feel like there's like a spirit possessing me, like an undead spirit inside my soul. And it may come out before this video is over. Just warning you guys. You may want to tell your friend to tune in right now. The Game of Sin 100 with a $5 super chat. Becky Lynch wins first match. Cheated out of the second match. Bayley wins with cash in on Charlotte. Well done, WWE. See, I'm disappointed, and I'll tell you why. I did mention this before a little bit. And Power Packers 90 with a $2 super chat says, Bayley is the first women's Grand Slam NXT Raw Tag SmackDown. WWE blew their load here with Bayley. I get mixed up with all the names. They could have done a story here. They could have had Bayley have this moral dilemma. Should she take the cheap way to Money in the Bank? They could have had her act like maybe she should do it, maybe she shouldn't. Because Bayley, is that wholesome character. She doesn't do these bad things. So I would have liked to have seen this play out. They did the same exact thing last year with the Money in the Bank briefcase holder cashing in the same night. And part of the fun is wondering, when are they going to cash it in? Actually telling a story with the briefcase and having something each week where we tune in and we're going to see different things happening and see this character evolve and go through this dilemma. Tell a story. You just blew your load. She's the champ now. I feel like this was only done so Charlotte can get one step closer to becoming 16-time world champion, just like her dad. Now she can beat Bayley on SmackDown and win her 10th championship later this year. Seriously, I think that's why WWE did this. Just to add another number to Charlotte's ongoing reign. So there you go. My take on that match. I was disappointed. Yeah, it got the pop, but was it really worth it? Was it really worth blowing your load here for the one pop? You could have spread this out over several months and told a great story. Oh well. Offman Rules with a $10 super chat. Thank you for that, Offman. He says, with Becky headed to Raw, it seems, I'm guessing we will never get Asuka versus Becky for the championship. Becky is on Raw, and Asuka is part of a tag team on SmackDown. So I think that's pretty much out the window right now. I don't think that is going to happen. Sorry to tell you, Offman, but you know what? Thank you for that super chat, and hopefully we'll get to have a slice of that New York style Frankenson pizza very soon. Moving on here to the next match, which was, well, not really a match. So Roman Reigns was walking to the ring. He got jumped from behind by Elias with the guitar. Elias came to the ring, and because he broke his acoustic guitar over the back of the big dog, Elias had an electric guitar, and he talked about how Vince texted him, praised him, saying WWE's in good hands, Vince can sleep at night. Ha ha ha, who wrote that line? Vince doesn't sleep. Who are you kidding? Elias sang about Hartford, Connecticut being a disgrace, and then Elias said, I thank none of you. I don't love any of you. He took off, and of course, I mean, this was so predictable. Like Roman Reigns isn't going to come out there and beat him up. Right. Anyways, that's exactly what happened. Roman Reigns hit him with the Superman punch, threw him in the ring, bell rang. I guess they didn't check on Elias to ask him, are you okay to do the match? Because isn't that what they usually do with the baby faces? Shouldn't you do it with the heels too? I don't know. I'm thinking too much, I guess. Maybe they did and I just missed it. But anyways, bell rang and spear, and that was it. So it was literally like a 5 to 10 second match. There you go. Roman Reigns defeats Elias. At least it was quick and painless. Well, relatively painless for the Drifter, aka Elias. All right, moving on here. We had Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. This felt like it didn't belong on this show because this was a great match and it actually made sense and you didn't have any screw jobs, no shenanigans, just a great match between two great wrestlers, and you had a clean finish. A nice, good old-fashioned clean finish. This was awesome. This was definitely the best thing on the entire show, in my opinion. These guys were just, they have so much chemistry together. I feel so calm and peaceful now. I mean, this is boosting my mood up. This is boosting my spirits. Seth Rollins did a lot of cool stuff in this match. He did a reverse superplex into the Falcon Arrow, which was awesome. Crowd was doing the dueling chants for these guys. Styles countered the stomp and turned that into the Styles Clash. That was a great sequence. Rollins kicked out, and then Rollins finally hit the big stomp to retain the title. Definitely a match worth checking out. This match was great. And then it was clean, no controversy, no shoulder up, no referee not counting, no referee calling for a rope break in a cage match. After the match, Styles got back in the ring. He was visibly frustrated, but then after this tense moment, Styles shook his hand and took off and let the better man celebrate in the ring. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. Very well done here. I really enjoyed this match a lot. And now we move on to the WWE Championship match, which was actually pretty good too. I mean, I don't think it was as good as the Universal title match, but I thought it was really solid. I think part of the problem here with these guys is that the crowd was starting to get burned out and it was just not the best placement. And WWE attempted to do a little buffer between these matches. You had the Lucha House Party come out. That's right, the Lucha House Party come out. And they were going to do a 6-man match. But then we had Lars Sullivan come out. Lars Sullivan came out, destroyed the entire team. Somehow in the melee, Lars got busted open. I think it was from a headbutt. I think he headbutted one of them, and he got busted open. So we had blood twice on this show. Samoa Joe possibly getting his nose broken, and then Lars Sullivan getting his head just split open. And anyone find this interesting that Lars Sullivan made those comments, which generated a lot of controversy, and the Superman guy, Kyle, or however you pronounce it, I'm not a big Superman fan. I mean, I did see the 80s movies or the 78 movie, so I'm not sure how to pronounce it. $1 super chat. I know that's blasphemy for the comic book fans. My apologies. Kyle, KL, whatever it is. Lars Sullivan made those comments, and then he's beating up R-Truth multiple times, and then he's beating up the Lucha House Party. So I just find it amusing that he's beating up these guys coming off of that controversy. Anyways, we had the match for the WWE Championship after all this Lars Sullivan stuff. Xavier Woods did a pep talk with Kofi Kingston before the match. Once again said he's not going to get involved. He's going to let Kofi do his thing. Kofi was on fire. He was a man on a mission. Little throwback there. Kofi Kingston had some fire early on, but then Owens got control. Kofi then made a comeback, almost won the match with the SOS. Then he hit the Trouble in Paradise, but Owens fell to the outside of the ring. And then Owens regained control. Owens went for the Swanton Bomb after hitting the stunner and Kofi kicked out. He went for the Swanton Bomb, but then Kofi got his knees up, and then Kofi hit the Trouble in Paradise to pin Kevin Owens and retain the WWE Championship. Xavier Woods came out afterwards, and the two of them celebrated together. Nice little happy ending here, but I'm still wondering, is something going to go down between Xavier and Kofi at some point? Good match. Not as good as the Universal title match, in my opinion, but still. Solid match here. I think if the crowd was a little bit more into it, it would have been stronger. Then we had the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, the grand finale of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. All right, and here we go. Ricochet versus Drew McIntyre versus Baron Corbin versus Ali versus Finn Balor versus Andrade versus Randy Orton. We had no Sami Zayn because he got beat up by some mystery guy. Randy Orton was taking out everybody early on, slamming them one after another on the announce table. And then the announcers were praising Orton as being a veteran of the game, being a veteran of the match. Crowd was chanting for Randy Orton. Nice little showcase for the Viper. Kyle with the $2 super chat says, crown Bayley just to tease Sasha, I think. I think it's more just Charlotte getting that extra title reign. Just one more number towards 16, quite frankly. So we had Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre working together for a while to take out Ali and Ricochet, slamming them into ladders. And then we had the first really crazy moment of the match. We had Andrade do a sunset flip powerbomb off the top of the ladder onto Balor, onto a ladder down below, and friggin' Finn Balor literally bounced off the ladder like 5 feet in the air. The crowd went absolutely crazy for this. They started chanting Yowie Wowie, so there you go. Bray Wyatt's new catchphrase is already catching on. Stephen Osborne just left the $5 super chat. He said, haven't finished watching Money in the Bank, but that ending though, really? How lame. Just dropped in to show you some love. Don't spend it all in one place. Wink face. Hashtag no DQ NXT. All right, thank you very much for that, Stefan. I do appreciate it. I left out the end because I want to wait for anybody that might not know who it was, although I'm sure you know by this point. But I want to, have a little bit of suspense for the few people that might not know who I'm talking about yet. Ali hit a big Spanish fly onto Andrade off the ladder. Baron Corbin got Ali and chokeslammed Ali through a table. The crowd was chanting, "You still suck," at Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin chokeslammed Balor on the side of the ladder. This was just carnage. It was like a demolition derby. And I got to give credit to Michael Cole. When Michael Cole saw the Spanish fly, he was like, what the hell is wrong with these guys? And I thought that was like the funniest thing Michael Cole has said in a very long time. That was like his best call in years. I thought that was great. That was Michael Cole's best work in a very, very long time. So props to Michael Cole. I know he has me blocked, but giving him props anyways. Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre eventually turned against each other, of course, since it is every man for himself. Baron Corbin ended up tossing Ricochet out of the ring through a table, which was crazy. Ricochet did this wacky flip as he was going over the top, making Baron Corbin look like $1 million. So great job there, Ricochet, with that bump. But friggin' Finn Balor, he got chokeslammed on the side of the ladder, and he got his ass kicked in this match. Finn Balor, I think, was the MVP of this one. Caitlin's not feeling so good. She's going to call it a night. Thank you for tuning in, Caitlin. You're going to miss the end here, though, so sorry to see you go. Cruz with a $5 super chat says, hey, it's still Walter using my son's phone, stuck in traffic. Might as well still chat. We are burned out for Kofi, but the ladder spots woke us up. Well, yeah, the ladder match was great. These guys were just tearing it up. Great stuff here. And then we had Ali on the verge of winning the match when Brock Lesnar showed up. Brock Lesnar is still a thing. I thought he was done, but of course we know better with Super Showdown coming up. Robert Hansen with a $2 super chat says, Rollins versus Styles match of the year, hashtag one more match. I don't know if it was match of the year yet. I think something will surpass it, but it was really good. It was definitely like on the Meltzer scale, I would say it was like 4.5 out of 5. I mean, it was really good. I don't know if it was like top tier match of the year though, but it was really strong match. And this match was on the verge of being a match of the year contender, but then you have to spoil it all by doing something stupid like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar comes out and he collects his $100,000 payday or whatever it is for 5 minutes of his time. He comes out there, climbs the ladder, and grabs the briefcase to win the contract. So yes, apparently anybody... So this just... Oh my God. This just ruins the whole thing. I mean, yeah, WWE says there's no DQ, anything goes. But how can somebody who's not a legal participant in the match come out there and just grab the briefcase? How does that make any sense? And I thought the fans are the authority now. So is Triple H going to say, oh yeah, I approved Brock Lesnar to do this? Like, what the hell? How did they know Sami Zayn was going to be put out of commission? So Brock Lesnar showed up knowing Sami Zayn. Well, I guess he was the one that did it. He was the one that took out Sami Zayn. So he went against Triple H's authority then. He was responsible for that attack and not Braun Strowman. So shouldn't Brock get punished now? Shouldn't it be reversed? Like, they're not going to reverse it though. You know, it's not going to be like Carmella and James Ellsworth where they redo the match. So yeah, Brock Lesnar, without breaking a sweat, wins Money in the Bank after all these guys pretty much killed themselves. Robert Hansen with the $2 super chat says, you're questioning WWE logic? I know, right? Something is seriously wrong with me. After all these years, it's like, you just got to go with it, you know? Brock Lesnar was called Beast in the Bank. No Drew McIntyre win. What the hell? Why even do predictions when they're just going to have Brock Lesnar show up and win? I mean, come on now. Power Packers 90 with a $2 super chat says, seriously hurt everyone for Brock and block money, blood money, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. What the hell is going on here? I don't know. I thought we were done with Brock Lesnar, but nope, he's still around. We get to have Paul Heyman. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and we get to hear that now for the next year or whatever. Losing it. I'm losing it. I'm feeling that undead spirit inside of me is just going to come loose here. I'm going to lose it. I'm trying not to lose it, guys. I'm trying to not lose it here. AEW Double or Nothing is coming up, so I gotta stay cool. I gotta keep my cool, man. Not lose it. All right, let's do the letter grade. Money in the Bank. What'd you guys think out there? Let me know. Let's hear those letter grades, and I don't know what to make of this show. It's like the good stuff and the bad stuff. I gotta like balance it all together and come up with something here. Josh Mansfield with an A-. I'm not giving it an A-. Kurt with a C. Kevin Luke with an F. Not giving it an F. Fernando with a C. Brian with a D. Shara with an N. Whatever that is. Maybe we should block that person. Anthony with a C-. Trey Johnson with a D+. Darius Jefferson with a D-. WWE Hates No DQ with a D-. Nick with a C. Calvin Bowman with an F-. CC Drink with a C. Greg Cherry with a Q, if that's actually Greg. Alfredo with a D. Vanessa with a hashtag FF. Kev Dog with a B-. Matt Helms with a D+. Hamp Khanna with a Z. And Eddie Smith with a $5 super chat says, according to reports on Twitter, Ali was badly busted open when Brock threw the ladder. Cameras were ordered to not show it. Okay, so there you go. Another person busted open. Yeah, Brock Lesnar, I stand corrected. Brock Lesnar threw a ladder. Wow, good job, Brock Lesnar, throwing the ladder. And then Walter Cruz with a $5 super chat says, C+. Any news on Carmella? She was limping bad off camera. Haven't heard anything since the match. I mean, she came back out, and I feel like if she was really injured, she wouldn't have come back out there. I feel like maybe that was done just to make fans think she might have a chance of winning, just to, you know, make it a little bit more unpredictable, but I'm not really sure. All right, so let me go ahead and do, I'm not losing it. I'm cool now. I'm all right. I promise I'm okay. I give this show a C. And I hate to do that because up until Brock showed up, that main event was awesome. That was like an A main event, and then Brock was like an F finish, literally like F5, F finish. I'm cool, guys. I'm totally cool. AJ and Styles, wow. That I promise you guys I'm cool. AJ and Rollins was great. That was an A match. But then you had those referee whatever the hell happened with those guys. So that brings down the show a bit. And just some of the decisions were making me have a pretty severe migraine. So I got to go with a C. Just when you merge it all together, it had its good moments. It had its bad moments. It had some boring moments. It was a show. It was a show by WWE. Pretty standard stuff from WWE. Good wrestling, not so good storytelling. I mean, that has been the pretty much the norm for WWE as of late. So yeah, when it's pretty much the norm, it gets a C. There you go. That's it for Money in the Bank. If you guys enjoyed this video, I will be back tomorrow night for No DQ's review of Raw, as well as SmackDown on Tuesday night. And then next Saturday night, after Double or Nothing, I will be doing a special live recap. And we'll see how I react differently from this video. Next Saturday night, make sure you guys tune in. And then, of course, we got more Raw and SmackDown and then Super Showdown. So stay tuned for all that. The This Guy Experience sent in a $2 super chat, said, what happened to the Vince no confidence story? Oh, that's way gone. That's like, you know, no, that doesn't exist. That never happened. Much like a certain undead spirit, which will remain dead tonight, I was able to vanquish that evil spirit. He's gone. He's gone now, guys. I'm okay. I promise I'm okay. Much like that spirit, Vince is gone. That whole storyline with the no confidence, that's gone. That's all gone. Shut up, Darius Johnson. Cut it out. Just cut it out. I'm fine. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm good. Everything is rainbows and butterflies. I got to go. Got Raw tomorrow night, SmackDown, all that good stuff. Thank you all.